Hello everybody and welcome to a rest day episode of Banter Blitz. No candidates today, but what a candidate's been. Some spectacular 3 rounds and hopefully another spectacular 11 rounds ahead. I don't like that intro. This is Banter Blitz. My name is Jan Gustafsson. Thank you so much for joining the show. If you happen to be a Chess24 Premium member, you can challenge me to a game of 5-minute chess. And we shall play a lovely game of chess and talk about it. Let's see if I already have any challenges. And I believe we should jump right into the action and play against Velverine. Not Wolverine, but Velverine from... Does this work? Almost here. From Syria. I'll go d4. We've seen yesterday what happens if as a d4 player you play one e4 when Levon Aronian did it. So I've learned my lesson. And I'll stick to my guns. d4, c4. Don't move that e-pawn towards the e4 square anytime before move 50. Pramod MVS is joining us in the chat. That's great news. He's asking, was Peter in good mood today? Read about some dog chase in his tweet. I am not sure, Pramod. I'm sorry. I will try to find that out for you. He seemed to be in perfectly good mood when I ran into him. We are playing the King's Indian, which normally is a good way to spoil my mood. I tend to have reasonably bad results against the King's Indian. This time around, why not play the Zamish? Not a line I normally play. Normally I will go for knight f3, bishop e2, and then either 7, bishop e3, or short castles. But the Zamish obviously makes a lot of sense. You overprotect the e4 pawn and then try to build a strong pawn chain in the future with d4 to d5 after e5. Even though there are lines, and I might play one of those lines, we try to keep the tension in the center after e5 with knight ge2. There's also the move c5, a pawn sacrifice, that white typically doesn't accept. But Velverine starts with knight bd7. Nothing particularly wrong with it, but showing you cards a little too early for my taste. Velverine now has to decide how he wants to deploy his pieces. e5, I'll probably keep the tension with knight ge2. He goes c5, which makes sense. If I were to play d5, we would transpose to the theoretical line after knight to e5. But since he committed his knight to d7 already, feels to me like it makes sense to go knight g2 when typically in these positions. Black would either take and then go knight to c6 or go knight c6 directly. None of those things are possible with a knight on d7. And now black might lose a little time trying to determine where to put this knight. c5 and then e6 or e5 and back to c6. None of these choices look all that appealing to me. Velverine. Not quite sure what he can do. e5 is a move that you normally want to avoid at all costs. It's not losing material, it's just an ugly move positionally. The d6 pawn gets very weak. The bishop on g7 gets sort of hemmed in. And the d5 square also gets weakened eternally. So it's a tough move to justify because you don't gain a lot in exchange for the weaknesses it creates. Long castle is not necessary. Of course, rook to d1, for example, would also be perfectly fine. But long castle does look quite alright to me as well. Just trying to develop a bit of an initiative. Here knight e8 to defend the d6 pawn, knight d5 hits the queen. Next move h4, then h5. Or if he goes h5, then g4. And it does look like a fairly scary position for black already. b5 is logical, trying to generate some counterplay on the queen side, but it might be a bit of a too little, too late case. Because it does seem like I will have some serious attack going on the h-file reasonably quickly. Well, black needs a lot of moves to threaten anything, partly because my knight on d5 is so strong. Now I'll recapture not so much to win the pawn, but because bishop takes c4 sets up some nasty threats like knight f6 followed by rook takes h7 checkmate. So Black would have to do something about it. But frankly, I'm not sure what. After king h8, I guess rook h7 wins. Yeah, rook f7 is the best move. But it should not save the game. There's many an option. This move looks pretty good to me. I guess just takes. Yeah, no. I can always win the exchange by taking on f7. But I'll try to cash in a little more before I take on f7. Take on d6 first. No, playing to take on f6. Long story short, I'm winning. Yay. Rook a7. We'll try to cover that guy by rook d8 check, bishop f8, bishop f6 pronounces the many problems that black is facing in this position. King f8, it's once again simplest to just win by taking all these things. I've been talking a lot these days about inviting everybody to the party, mainly in attacking games, but might as well apply it to this position. The knight on c2 wasn't doing all that much. So I'll regroup it to d5, where it does look a little more active. Yeah, that black position is fairly hopeless because I am up a lot of material. Hang on, can I do something funky? It's not that funky, is it? But can't hurt either, I guess. The body count is very much in my favor here. King d8, rook a7. And this could be another rook up situation. This time it's not just a rook up. It's also positional domination, which sometimes is a factor that comes into play in these rook up positions. But they're not necessarily connected. Here it's more the principle that Aaron Nimzowitsch in his masterpiece, My System, taught us that a rook on the 7th rank often controls, I don't know, what does it control? The 7th rank? Cutting off the black king on the 8th rank. So it's a good thing to have. And Velverin resigns because there is no hope, of course, g5, g6, g7 and so on. So thank you for the game, Mr. Velverin. Let's play another one maybe. I believe that is one point of Banter Blitz, to play some chess games. Another point is bantering, but I'm not so bantery today. I'm more trying to explain all the lovely moves I make. This will be my plan du jour. Let's play Johan Wilhelm Möbius, who I've played quite a bit in the past. He's always the first to challenge. I normally pick very randomly, but since he's always here, sometimes he gets a game. Johan Wilhelm Möbius. I'll play c4. c4, knight f3, d4, all those moves I feel comfortable playing. 1 e4. Ugh. Scary, scary. Is this your real name? Have we ever established that, Johan Wilhelm Möbius? I think I googled it once and it was not your real name. Johan Wilhelm Möbius tells me I can't start. What's happening? Why can't you start? Where is the problem? Not gonna be able to do it? Window does not open. Sorry to hear that. What can you do? Refresh? Open a new tab? I'll wait 10 seconds. Keep us posted. And yeah, the commentator says, nah, Möbius is a mathematician from a long time ago. I think it wasn't him. Sorry, Johan Wilhelm Möbius. Let's see if we can do this later. But since I have nothing to banter about, I'm gonna have to keep the games going. And we'll try this another time. Unless nobody can start, maybe. We finally programmed the site so that no one can bother me by actually accepting my challenges. Not sure that'd be a good thing. I will play against G-Pawn. Is that an Atze Schröder profile picture? Did I see that right? No, it's not Atze Schröder. So close. G-Pawn pre-moving c5. That is brazen. He's saying, I know my clock doesn't start until after my first move, but I just can't wait to pre-move one c5. Which, I'm making fun of it, but I've done it a lot in Bullet myself. So I understand where you're coming from. But normally I'm quite upset when they play one d4 and I think, ugh, I gave all this space. Why did I do that? Again. I don't know what to do here. Bishop b5 check makes some sense, but I guess I can just develop a piece. Is this all G-Pawn theory? In your little G-Pawn meetings, do you guys discuss these lines? I know nothing about it. Well, it looks like I'm slightly better. No, d6 a little weak. The usual, how bad can it be situation. Then again, how good can it be? Bishop f4, rook e8, maybe. I overestimated my chances a little bit. Not normally what I do. Normally, I tend to be unhappy with the overall situation. But here, I thought I was much better already. It's probably not the case after rook e8. All right. Then what do I do? If I have to take on d6, it'd be a bit sad. Yeah, I don't see anything special. Start with this, but rook e4, bishop d6. I don't think I'm better, to be perfectly frank. And that's a sad situation. Let me think if I can make something happen. The problem is, in some lines I have to be very concerned. Let's say knight c6, short castles, well, rook takes e2, queen e2, queen d6, and if there's no follow-up, then I could just lose material. So after knight c6, well, I hope I can take the pawn on c5. But I would have to seriously consider some of the life choices I made that got me here. As if I'm not doing that every day. G-Pawn taking his time here. So when you named yourself G-Pawn, was it with the G unit in mind? I guess not. I have no follow-up. I'm not very sharp. I was gonna say today, but feels like that today is superfluous in that sentence. Queen b6, probably a good move, covers c5. And once again, makes me think about after short castles. I'm not that concerned about queen b2, then bishop d3, and I would get some initiative. But about short castles, rook takes e2. Queen takes e2, queen takes d6, and can I do something there or not? Rook d1, let's say. Not clear if I have anything. Good move then, queen b6. Huh? Well played, Mr. G-Pawn. So that means I'm worse. Is it time to start thinking about survival? Knight d2, is that a move? Rook e2, queen e2, queen d6, still nothing. Yeah? Knight e4, queen 5, knight f6, gf. No, also not great. Nah, I'm gonna have to go for this and keep a straight face. He didn't take. Then again, bishop g4 might be good too. So a little early to celebrate. Bishop h5. Now I can at least argue, probably not successfully, but I will argue it nevertheless, that this bishop could be misplaced in certain lines. Could be vulnerable to some queen d5 attacks. or whatnot. But can I back that argument up with moves? Queen d5, rook e2, doesn't seem to work really. Rook e1, knight c6. No time. Let's play this. Rook e1 also... Ugh. I'm not sure if I blundered this or not. Bishop f3, bishop f3, rook e1, queen d6, bishop b7. He goes knight c6, which is much more natural, so I'll worry about that later. I was intending to play queen d5. Yeah, I should just go with my gut. This seems like a decent exchange operation for me. I'm still not sure I'm better, but it feels like overall my situation has improved. Queen f7 doesn't quite work yet because the king can go to g6, which is a pity. So queen c5, queen c3. Nah, I'm still not winning in any of those lines. Very sad. Very, very sad. Rook c1 won the pawn back, but rook b1 is at least pretending to keep a little play in the position, even though it's a bit hard to believe I could really be better here. I'll pretend though. 2 bishops. I played very slowly because I had to solve all these problems that Mr. G-pawn was posing me. That means I'm gonna have to speed up quite a bit from here on. e5, another good move. Stop making all these good moves. How can I speed up if you keep playing good moves? There's no chance. And rook b8, and it's just a draw. He played too well. What can I do? Rook b8, and I can't take because of rook b1. If the bishops stay on the board, I'll pretend stuff here like bishop d5. But if he goes rook b8, there's really no reason to continue the game. Sadly. Well, if he plays rook c8, I might lose. That would not be better. There might be no reason to continue the game for other reasons. Oops, I shouldn't pre-move this either. Yeah, not my best game ever so far. But maybe it becomes my best game ever in the near future. If I pull off a great flagging comeback from this position, wouldn't we all be thrilled? Problem is if he goes rook b8, still a draw. While any other move like g6, I can't even dream about being better. Even though I will still dream about it. Oh yeah, rook b8. I'll go rook d7 probably, but I won't be very happy. What happened? Did he disconnect G-pawn? Mistake. Don't get too tricky on me. It's always a mistake to get too cute. Sorry, G-pawn. He was hoping for rook f2, king f2, bishop c5 check. But the Zwischenschach saved the day, the rook a8 check. And another rook up situation, which is a bit of a forte of mine. So yeah, it's that rook a2, I'm guessing. Still equal, bishop b3, rook a1 check, king g2. Who knows what would have happened, but I can't really claim to be better here. Yeah, good game by G-pawn until he gave me that rook. And I had a bit of a heart attack, if I had a heart, after rook c8, because it took me like 10 seconds or however long to find out how to cover that mate. So, you gave me a good scare there, Mr. G-pawn. But I'm very happy I made it through this game. Let's continue, since I seem to be in great shape. To play tough guys. And we have an international master of the game of chess. The 1VG. Not the 1OG, but the 1VG. I'm not sure what VG means, because his name is Brian Solano Cuya. So he's not Victor Gonzalez, something like that, where I would understand VG. But maybe he will educate us about the meaning of his name. I shall play an A6 adjacent system. Actually, it's very A6y. A6 Slav. And what do I do here? E6, B5, or Bishop F5. All legit moves. Bishop F5 is what I've mainly played in my tournament practice. Queen B3, or Bishop E2, or Bishop D3, or Knight E5 are all good moves. Bishop E2, I think the point is you go H6, so if you start with E6, they go Knight H4, and they take your bishop, which by starting with H6 we can avoid. C5 so quickly, I'm not sure if that's good or bad. You don't see it often. I'm not exactly sure why. Looks quite logical. I'll just develop and let him do his thing. I'm not really against the white play here. A4, B5. Not quite sure what I'm supposed to do. What am I supposed to do? The 1. Sit around and wait for you? No, I can't do that. There's no turning back. Is this a move? If it's not good, which is very possible, it's maybe a bit suicidal, but it crossed my mind. I don't really want him to play B5. And Bishop D3, okay. What's that about? I don't know. I'm not that concerned about him taking. Probably I should be, but I'm not. Since, yeah, I get access to the E4 square then. Not sure. Very strange position. Now, somehow, I'll just make whatever move crosses my mind and then say, oh yeah, it's all Grandmaster League pattern recognition. But of course, the truth is, I'm not really sure what I'm doing as usual. What is this position? Knight F6, he goes Knight E5, which annoys me. So, I have to take, I guess. I have to take here. Do I want to go Bishop F6 and E5? I don't know. He can play E4. Can we get another weird structure? No, I'll go E5. He can still play E4. So complicated. Do you see how I pronounce decaded and complicated? Making me sound more educated. Maybe less educated. Oh, I missed Queen G3. Note to self, start paying attention, or the 1VG will crush you mercilessly. I would not like that, would I? Ugh, that's unpleasant. Ay, ay, ay. All right, what to do? Knight C6 is there, Queen C6. I might barely survive that, but I won't be very thrilled about it. Ugh, that was a serious blunder. All options looked fairly terrible, including the one I chose. No, I don't like my chances of making it out of this game alive. h4. So aggressive. Ugh, did I blunder e6? Congratulations, Jan. You're a very gifted chess player. Oh boy. That was not a good game. Good game by the 1VG, but yeah. I was under pressure already, and then to blunder e6, fe, queen g7 is not exactly a way to ease my pain. But yeah, the position is very unpleasant. Facing this knight on d6, mainly, I'm not sure. It looked normal. I'm not sure about e5 either. But this shouldn't be too bad. But knight e5, queen g3 was already very dumb. And I started drifting then. So, what to do? Good game by the 1VG. Not my best game ever, because my best game ever was the one before this one. Let's play Iti. Iti from the Germany. Iti plays 1e4, as many people do, and I feel it's Caro-Kann time. If there was ever a Caro-Kann time, it's now. Knight f3. People do different things here. I normally play a6, but I'm always unhappy about my position, so this time I'll play what used to be the main line. I think bishop g4 has been more or less replaced by, what do you call this? Knight to f6, e5, knight, e4, as the very main line. But this still remains, of course, a very solid option. I'm not intimately familiar with the theory here, but I hope I'll be able to develop my pieces without getting mercilessly crushed, as in the last game. General Ite is saying, I'm happy with you playing d4, I'll go knight b1, and in the remaining structure, I'll be reasonably pleased with my long-term attacking chances. I'll try to prove him wrong. I've seen some positions like that. He's still blitzing out his moves, maybe this is all theory, in some very old, whatever it was, Fischer-Petrosian games, something like that. Anyway, I have not managed to surprise Monsieur Ete all that much so far. Bishop g5, is all of this normal, Ete? Do you think we're playing bullet? Stop scaring me. Think for once. Please think. No thinking. Maybe he's played this position many a time. Thinking, ugh, another guy who's playing queen c5. As if I have not crushed fools left and right throughout my long illustrious chess career here. f5, g4, h4, g5, checkmate. Now he goes fe. I'm tempted. Fe. Rook fba was a blunder as usual. But I'm tempted to make it look like an exchange sacrifice with queen e5, which might not be too bad. Because knight e5, bishop h6, I'm not sure how happy I am. I have other options, like knight to h7, but it looks a little clumsy, to put it mildly. So let me think. Knight e5, bishop h6, gh, nah. Now let me go for this. This can't be too bad, can it? I think this might be okay, actually. Call me crazy. But it looks like some compensation with the dark squares. It's not so easy for him to develop. My knight is coming to e5, or maybe my queen can even come to e5, attack g3. I don't dislike my position all that much here. Now I'll put the knight here. Very tempted to blunder that knight instantly after he pins me like that. But upon further reflection, I won't do that just yet. It's a little unnerving, he never thinks. And keeps making good moves. which, when I was a young man, I had that skill in Blitz. But the 90s are over. Still, some counterplay. Knight g3 is a threat. And it's not that easy to parry. Queen f2, I could take here and here. I'm gonna think for a second if I have anything better. Even though it's not, it doesn't look bad. Knight g4, not really in time. Nah, I want to play more slowly. I might regret this. Kind of regretting it already. Now my point is I want to cover f7, so I'm threatening knight g4, because I could not see an obvious way for him to stop me from getting that in. Like, he has many moves, knight c4, I'll take and take on g3, but in general it looked reasonable. I'm aware I'm an exchange down, but we have opposite color bishops, so if I manage to generate some initiative, it could become quite powerful. The big question is, will I really manage to get anything going? Bishop h3, probably a good move. Stopping me from going knight g4, and if I take, queen takes, knight g3, it's, yeah, still not clear if I've achieved anything much. Yeah, bishop h3 was good. People are playing well. Now I'm worse. Misplayed it again. Okay, time to stop whining, make some moves. But yeah, this has not gone according to plan. You can probably take a5. I don't really have a follow-up. She does. Desperately trying to get some counterplay by targeting Mr. h4. Once again, I'm way behind on the clock. I feel here. This is a slow day. Wow, big champion of chess tactics? Okay, I can't compete if you make moves like queen e1. Come on. This is not even fair. The point is queen h4, rook f7, and I resign. That's way too strong for me. Queen e1? What's wrong with the world today? Trying to hang around. I'm not sure if I'm worse, frankly. The bishop on h3 is not doing that much. Now that I got the a-pawn, at least there are some scenarios that don't look hopeless for me. Queen h4, queen f3. It's not one of those scenarios. Whenever I catch a glimmer of hope, I blunder again. And all hope disappears. Good news, I'm very slow. I literally can't move. It's like I'm paralyzed. And I understand. I should say I figuratively can't move, because I literally could move. I'm getting checkmated too? I'm getting checkmated. No, this guy is just way too strong for me. There's not even anything to talk about. Once I switched to pre-moving, I improved greatly as a chess player. But how much pride is there to be taken in that? I don't know, if any. Sorry, Te. Yeah, I don't know what to think about our games. You're too strong. Let's play Elkea. Sorry. Here we are. I played the London system. I've cursed many people out about playing the London system, because I feel it is the bane of modern chess. That everybody thinks, oh, now many strong players like Carlsen and Kramnik and many others have started playing the London system, so I can do it too. I have an excuse to go d4, bishop 4, e3, c3, knight f3, h3 every game. Then again, I will argue that I'm doing it for variety's sake, so it's different. I'm not sure if that's true. h4, he goes h5, I think, or I've seen somebody start with bishop e2. I guess the point is that after knight f3, you don't want to get pinned with bishop g4, and now after bishop g4, I could at least think about going knight to e5, keeping this knight alive, not allowing him to exchange it for a bishop. Of course, there's other moves. c5 look logical. Knight b7 also looks like a logical move. What can I do? Can I go all caveman-y? Knight g5, g4? Doesn't really look like the way to play chess. Nah, I'll develop a bit first. Elkea is also playing well. Could please, guys, take it easy on me. I've had a rough day. Stop crushing me mercilessly every game. It's no longer fun. We've had a good laugh. I need a little success. Just one game. Let me win one. I'm aware I won the last one, but it did not feel like that, did it? I'm not sure about knight b6. I had a feeling he should have played e5 probably, just to clarify the situation. In the center, d, e, knight, g, e5, and I thought black had an excellent position. Once again, showing I don't really know what I'm doing in such structures. Well, now I'm still not thrilled, but at least I'm sort of back in the game at least. Or I would assume so. What's up, chat, by the way? I haven't said hi to you guys in the chat yet. Thank you for joining us today. Bursuk says, Jan has no coffee today. That's a problem. I actually have coffee. No, it's other. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe. Just the usual Weltschmerz. I don't want this show to get too whiny. Like, I thought we were over there. What can I do to win this game against LK? Not really in my natural habitat here, sacrificing the pawn on g4. Let's say takes, bishop takes, now e5. Whoa. Okay, I'll take. Nah, I guess e5 was a little much, even though position still remains very unclear, but I'm not sure what he's gained by including e5, de, hg, fg, knight g4 could still be an option. LK is playing very well. I have no idea what the position is here, but he's making a lot of sensible moves. I'm a pawn up, but my pieces are a little all over the place. So I have a feeling he shouldn't recapture, because now e4 made sense to me, shutting this knight out from the game, and I start to like my position. Maybe instead of gh, knight f5 was an option, just trying to activate even further. Yeah, this is now more or less winning for me, because I have, what do I have? 2 extra pawns? I always struggle counting extra pawns. Just 1 extra pawn. But I have better pieces. The knight on h6 is not great. So yeah, I'm in good shape. Seven back. Annoying Dog is saying, Jan not interested in the chat. No Pramod or Dodgy. Pramod was here earlier, wasn't he? Did he abandon us? I'd love to make friends with you as well, Annoying Dog. But every time I read something from you, it's you complaining that I don't read your chat out enough. Is that a fair assessment? Or maybe it's me complaining about you complaining, talking about meta complaining. It's all very complicated. And yeah, I agree, it's confusing Mr. Dodgy is not here. Because we have this Stan-like relationship. Normally I wait until he's in the chat and then I decide to schedule a show so I can troll him. But it seems like today there was a misunderstanding and I've started the banter without Mr. Dodgy being ready. I apologize for that. It's dodging the show. Maxim Savanovic keeps saying Ding will win candidates, but he keeps adding exclamation marks because we all know in nowadays internet, if you don't use caps or 7-8 exclams, your point will not get taken seriously, even if you're an international master of chess. I will win this game because a discovered attack is about to come. Niels Roh is asking, when is the next opening clinic? I don't know yet. I'm afraid we probably won't get one done during the candidates, and after that I'm heading straight to Baden-Baden to do commentary in the Grenke Chess Classic, so I'm not sure we'll get one done then. But I am very much planning to resume them and make the format a little shorter so we can release them in like hour-long episodes, not this 4-hour torture that were previous opening clinics. For you guys, I mean, not for me. I enjoy doing them actually. Let us play another game of chess. Thanks for the game, Elkea, who played very well for 1489. I thought this one was gonna be easier for me, but even this was a very tough fight. I see some non-premium challenges. Sorry guys, I'm not allowed to accept those. You can become premium using the lovely voucher code Janistan. I believe during the candidates there's also all the MAC promotions going on, so you can, if you use MAC Peter, you can get a MAC signed by Peter Svidler instead of the 15%, which is probably an even better deal. Let's play against Sanket Chakravarti. Ambitious Pawn is with us. At least Ambitious Pawn stopped by. If we're missing Pramod and Dodgy, Ambitious Pawn has been here. How long have you been here, Ambitious Pawn? 4 years, 5 years? He's one reliable voice of reason on this very program. So thanks, Ambitious Pawn, for staying with us while I'm dealing with Sanket Chakravarti here. I thought after e6, knight f3 is more precise than bishop g2, because now after d5, all of a sudden it's a little awkward for white to deal with my plan to expand further. And here if you go d4, I will take and go knight c6, when the knight on c3 is a little misplaced for such positions, because I can immediately ask it to move again. Move, knight, get out the way. Get out the way, knight, get out the way. I don't know where to put my bishop. Bishop b4 check, followed by taking on d2. Looks like the fastest way to develop, but I'm not sure if it's also the best way. Bishop c5 looks like a fairly reasonable move as well. But I'll go with the more humble bishop to e7. My point is after knight f3, I want to go bishop h3 ideally. Even though I'm not sure that's really necessary. I'm trying to keep the king in the center, and I didn't want to get bothered by knight g5. I'm not sure that should have been a priority, but we'll see. Opponent disconnected. What happened, Sanket Chakravarti? I always get this little countdown in, which I guess everybody does. When the opponent disconnects 28 seconds to win. It's very stressful if you get it yourself. If it says you disconnected, you have like 18 seconds to reconnect. It's a lot of panic, isn't it? And he plays bishop g2, which makes sense, trying to rearrange his pieces that way to follow up with knight f3. It's a little slow, of course, but at least like this, white manages to conclude his development. Obvious though that black has no problems. I have reasonably active pieces. White should probably castle and then try to put his knight on d3. So I will anticipate that happening. Prepare, probably rook e8, bishop f6 to ask some questions about the e2 pawn. b3, can I go d3? I'd love to go d3. I'll just do it. Sometimes, if you really want to do something, just do it. I'm not afraid of your pre-move, Sanket. Maybe I should be. But I've learned that sometimes pre-moves are not a sign of strength, but of weakness, because we missed a move and then we tried to hide it behind pre-moving. At least that's what I do a lot. I'm not saying it's the case here. So e takes d, bishop to f6. Looks pleasant for me, I thought. Because if he goes d4, I'll go knight d4, and then rook on a1 does not have a lot of squares, even though there's some lines like d4, knight d4, knight d4, bishop d4, bishop g5, where I'm not fully sure what's going to happen. Queen b6, bishop b7, that should end well for me. Well, we'll think about it when we get there. And Sanket is looking for a way out here. I'm guessing he spotted bishop g5 by now, but I don't know, he decides to give the exchange. I would have tried this bishop g5, I'm not sure. What I would have done, maybe f6. And while after bishop f4, I guess I can just take, no? And now, an exchange up, of course. One always has to be careful, but there should not be all that much compensation. The position is reasonably symmetrical, other than me having more material. So that normally bodes well. For the extra exchange side. Because, you know, rooks, they can move straight, which I'm being told is stronger than diagonally. Because rooks can enter all the squares on the chessboard, while bishops are normally restricted to their own color. So light square bishops can only enter light squares. Dark square bishops can only access dark squares. Timeless wisdom as usual. So there you go, queen f6 here. Looks good enough. Even though, nah. The thing is often, we're taught that we should exchange pieces when we're material up, but once you start making concessions, just for the sake of exchanging, it is one reliable way to not win winning positions. Like here, queen f6 takes on e4, rook d7. And why would I do that to myself? I might still be winning, but there's no real reason to do it. Sanket thinking about bishop g7 here, but it's not really going to work, is it? And after king g2, white continues to face an uphill struggle. Can you say an uphill struggle? Probably it's just uphill battle, right? So I guess g5 wins, but I'm not really in the mood to weaken my poor king. And I don't feel it's particularly necessary either. g5 with the idea of distracting the bishop from defense of the rook. But rook e2, queen f1, rook a8 seems to win without any drama. Therefore, I'll go with that. Queen is lost, therefore Sanket does resign. Thank you for the game, Sanket. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. Another game against Frenzle. Frenzle from Germany. I haven't heard people called Frenzle much. I'm guessing it's like a version of Franz. I haven't heard it used. Frenzle. I'll stick to my guns. Go to knight c6 here. Should be 5. Good old Spanish. I'll play a6. And we're playing an exchange Spanish. Haven't had one of those for a while. Bishop d6, queen f6, queen d6, bishop g4, bishop e6, all fine moves. For this game I'll play knight e7, which is one of the sharper ways to meet the exchange Spanish. d4 is not supposed to be great. The critical lines start with knight e5, queen d4, and then more stuff. d4 is of course playable, but now after these, both queen d4 and knight d4, black tends to get pretty good versions of these endgames you get in other lines. For example, this position is more commonly seen with a pawn on f6 and a knight on g8. I'm reasonably sure this is a better version of that for me, because his knight is normally quite comfortable on g6 or c6. Here. White is still solid though. Solid as a rock. I'm struggling these days, guys, gotta be honest. So much negativity out there. This setup is quite typical. Rook e8, intending to play bishop c6, yeah. Sort of clearing the d-file, but you're covering the entry squares. And here after f3, what am I gonna do? Knight e5 looks like a decent choice, maybe intending to play knight c4. I was wondering if I need to make time to make a hole for my king with b6, king b7. Can I go f5? I'm so tempted to do something aggressive. No, I'll start with b6, because f5 he can take, I guess, and I can't really see what to do. Frenzle playing very well as well. Everybody's playing well today. I want to go bishop h6, and I think I still will, but I'm not 100% sure what happens after bishop e3 takes, knight takes, and then, in general, getting rid of the two bishops would help white. So I was hoping I can do something direct then f5, e takes f, knight f3 maybe, gf, rook e3. We'll see, should that position happen. Here we are. f4 could be an option, which I guess is double-edged because it's also improving my bishop scope. And we'll see. f4, knight f7, e5. It's a strange position to evaluate. Feels okay for me, but I'm never that sure in these structures. He goes f4. Would you make some mistakes, Frenzle? It's very frustrating if you're all playing so well. It's not that frustrating. That's just means I should try to try even harder. And here... Try to bring this knight to e6 and then dream of getting in some g5 in the distant future. But it might be a long way to get there. g3, another good move. Is it time for g5, or will I get punished for such premature activity? Maybe I should just get my king out of any potential knight forks. Now or never. Maybe never was the correct answer. I'll go with now. 93. I'll go here. What should I do? If he goes h5, if I go h5, he can probably go h4. So maybe I should try to keep my rooks flexible in case, let's say, the G file gets opened. I can react quickly. But yeah. Not a lot of progress being made by either side. So one could praise me for hanging in there. Or one could praise Frenzle for hanging in there. Or both. Or no one. Those, I believe, are our choices. King e3, let's play a little a5, a4. Time to speed up a little bit. I'm not sure if my attempts to open up the position are really in my favor, but gotta make something happen. Rook h3 can take is the problem. Too strong. Excellent game by Frenzle. Did not play any worse than me. But in time trouble, I did manage to catch his king in the middle of the board. Alright, let's play another game. What about Eric Nilsson? Eric plays the Slav. What do I do? E3. And we're transposing to the semi-Slav if I were to play knight c3 here. Typically, black players don't like to play this move order because white has some options. They're not much, like this move b3, trying to go bishop d3, bishop b2, short castles. But against e6, c6, these, yeah, lines have a little more of a reason to exist. I've seen people play the c6, c5. I'm always surprised that you can get away with this, with black, giving all these tempi early on. But I've seen very strong players do this, so I don't doubt it's a viable option. I'm not sure how to play. I'll try to get some pieces out. I'm reading in the chat that I'm only playing with Germans. That's a strange accusation. I think in my German shows, the Banter Blitz, I might give some preferences to German or Swiss, Austrians, even though even there I pretty much play with everybody. But in the Banter Blitzes, I don't even look at the flag at all. The one criterion that I sometimes use is if I haven't played you before I can see the score, then I will give it slight preference. Ratings and nationality are not a factor at all in this, so no, that's not the case. I like my position here against Eric Nielsen. Because it's an IQP position where my pieces are reasonably well developed, while the black pieces aren't that active yet. I'm not sure about h3, has some drawbacks. But overall, this should be a pretty decent version for me. Even though, like, computers will probably say black is perfectly fine here. And these positions, even if black doesn't have an initiative per se, offer a great reserve of solidity often. Knight c6, I'm not sure if it's the correct idea, transposing to some hanging pawn structure. But I could not think of anything better to do at that moment. Now black is fine, yeah. This wasn't my best idea of all time. Generally, I'm not playing well today. I guess I feel like apologizing. I always feel like apologizing for everything. Apologize for my whining, for my not playing well. But I guess you guys are probably happy if I'm not playing well. So I should not be too sorry about that. Should I be sorry about my English? Yeah, I'm prime self-conscious today again. We'll improve. Let me try to win this game against Eric Nielsen. I provoked f6, so I have that going for myself, but he put his pieces on very sensible squares. And I was gonna say it's fine, even though I'm not 100% sure. Because now that I'm consolidating, it's still easier to play my position, I would guess. These hanging pawns, they are called hanging pawns for reasons. They're not targets right now, but the structure is never like 100% inherently sound. So I slightly prefer my position, but I do think that Eric's is perfectly playable. He goes f5, which is probably correct, but it's still a move I should be happy to see, because it does extend my bishop along this diagonal. I'll go back. I'll argue that bishop d3 did his job provoking f5, helping his brother on b2. And it's time to think of a new plan. Even though it's not easy what to do, really. It's not easy what to do. It's not obvious what to do. At least to me, it's not. Don't have a plan. Eric has a plan. And a fairly decent plan at that. I saw I might lose the exchange after FE Rookie 3 Bishop F4, but it's a price I'm willing to pay at this stage. To avoid getting checkmated, I'll argue that my bishop is still very strong here. But yeah, clearly, things have not gone the way I would have liked them to. Again. Can I go here? Let me think this through. Rook e4, d, e, queen c5, ef, bishop c4, bishop e6. Nah, that's not great, so I'll still take for sure. But I'm gonna have to go queen e4, I guess. I like my position. I'm waiting to finally get in some bishop c4 action, but so far he's done a very good job keeping me busy and not allowing me to do that. I still have excellent compensation for the exchange with my very active pieces, and this ends the game. But even half a move before this, if he goes bishop f6, I'm not sure I can claim being better. Overall, Eric Nielsen played a better game than me. Once again, sorry, Eric, very good game. Let's play another game. Annoying Dog is asking, Jan, the players are always asked the same questions in press conferences. Were you nervous in time trouble? How do you recover after a loss? How will you spend your rest day? Is that what they're always asked? I'm not sure. But yeah, the how will you spend your rest day is a classic. What do you wish they would ask instead? I don't know. Believe it or not, I've done quite some of these post-game interviews with the guys. I'm reasonably awkward about it because you also feel like, yeah, it's... You try to read the room a bit and figure out what mood they're in, and if they feel like being talkative, like especially Magnus. If he's in a good mood, you can ask him anything about all kinds of random things, and sometimes he just doesn't want to talk at all and wants to get back to the hotel. So I feel it's, yeah, very much depends on the player on that given day, if you will get something. My favorite is Grishuk, even though I find very tough to ask him anything as well, but he's just so hilarious, both with his phrasing and his timing, that, yeah, you always get something good. We're playing Passion here. He plays his a6 line. That's a topical line these days, right? A lot of people play this a6 business. What am I supposed to do? Takes, bishop f4, or bishop g5. I guess they go here more often than not. How does this go? Knight d7. Get some pieces out, I would guess. So fast. Grandmaster Passion. Is this what they do? Queen c7? Maybe it is. Looks a little weird, but I was actually intending to go bishop f4 if we were to play h6, so it certainly makes sense. I'll go here so I can go to g3 if needed. But if this gives me an edge, is a different question. I'll just pretend that I want to play b4. Now that I've pretended that I do, might as well. Oh, bishop g4, unpleasant. Ugh, I'm playing so terribly. It's really getting embarrassing. It's time to apologize to chess for all these things I'm doing. To miss bishop g4 is beyond sad. King h1, making a virtue out of it. I did not intend this. The problem is bishop g4 hits the knight and hits the h2 pawn, of course. Goes g5. Alright, he'll get out the way. This looks risky, at least. Do we go hg, fg? Both seem reasonable. Nah, I'll go hg. Strange position. After my initial blunder, now at least my structure hasn't been too compromised. And this, structure. Anyone's guess who's better. Why this b5, knight b6 is sort of a typical operation, but I'm not sure how powerful the knight is on c4 in this very situation. We'll see. Very unclear position. I'm not sure who's better and why. Why don't I take pawns? This is grandmasterly chess. Pawn hanging, who cares? Let me repay the favor by blundering in exchange with a4, knight a3. Nah, I can't do that. I take? I don't know if I'm supposed to take. I'm always doubting everything. A pawn is a pawn. That's the one rule I've lived my life by. If I start questioning that now, what is left? Rook a8, do I want to go a5, b5? Probably b5, right? My position looks fairly decent. I have some initiative at least, and some pawn at least. So there are some good things. Maybe bring the other rook as well. Here he wants queen takes. I don't want that. So I'll go here. My position still looks quite good, doesn't it? I'm thinking about some weird lines with rook b8 takes, but he resigns, which, yeah, I can't see a good move if he goes c3. I can just go queen c2, for example. Basically, yeah, he blundered a pawn. I didn't take it for a move, but when he gave me another chance, I managed to take it. And of course, that helps. Right, I think my position was decent there already. I was surprised by g5. But earlier on, when I was daydreaming and missed bishop g4, yeah, I was not a happy camper. Anyway, thanks, Passion Max Illingworth, for stopping by. Who do we play next? Who have I never played? I've never played Vegician the Mighty. He was around in the candidate show. And the broadcast the other day being yesterday. We are playing not necessarily the Slav. Like, I often play the c4, c6 knight f3 move order if I know my opponent is a Slav player and I wanna move order them out of their usual patterns. d5, e3, knight f6, knight c3 is a line I've played a lot, trying to transpose to at least the semi-Slav, which is not everyone's repertoire, but of course. He goes bishop g4. I'll go cd. I think bishop g4, cd, bishop f3 is the line I once looked at. Because after cd you always have to deal with stuff like queen a4 check, which might not be winning, but it's normally unpleasant if I start questioning his queen side that early on in the game. Queen b3 will also move. I'm not sure if queen a4 or queen b3 is better. But generally, yeah, dealing with such nuisances. Is that a word? That early in the game. I'm never sure about. Bishop c6 looked like the only move. Can go knight e5, knight d7. I'm not sure it achieves all that much. But yeah, well. Ambitious Pawn is saying, scroll back a bit, saying, Jan, let's do Ask the GM question day. For example, Sasha, why are you a time travel junkie? He's been asked that, like, probably literally hundreds of times, so I'm not sure if that would be that thrilling a question for Grishuk. He's talked about that he considers it a weakness, but yeah, he can't help it. I'm not sure. Maybe he's changing the answer once in a while to entertain himself a bit. Not sure what he said. I recall having said that, yeah. No, I can't quote him. I'm not sure what the reasoning was. So maybe I'll ask him next time. And Mr. Dodgy has made his appearance. I've talked about this earlier, that I thought we had this Stan relationship, Mr. Dodgy, that whenever you start chatting, I build a show around it so I can troll you. But today I mistimed it and you weren't in the chat. And I started a show anyway. I want to apologize. I also want to apologize to Vegician the Mighty for not playing very well. Then again, I don't mean it. You're probably happy that I'm not playing well. So, I'm repeating myself. Let's stop it. And wow, James Harden 13R is a new premium member. I can confirm that because he was just chatting without being a premium member. James Harden is what, $164 million contract? So I think you can afford the premium membership. I'll make an effort to crush you ASAP, James Harden. Yeah, Vegician the Mighty has played some sensible moves. Not so sure about mine, but since his pieces are a little stepping on each other's toes, it feels like I shouldn't exchange. Even though bishop c6 you could make a case for as well, but it seems like it won't be so easy for black to develop. So I'll go here and just try, in the distant future, to create some problems. f6 changes the narrative. Because now is there business on this diagonal? I don't know. It says opponent disconnected. That might solve all my problems. Knight c6, bc, queen b7, knight b6. Did I blunder my queen or am I winning material? Those are the burning questions. Too complicated. I have 3. And it looks like Magician the Mighty disconnected in his first ever Banter Blitz game. Painful. Sorry, Magician the Mighty. Looks like you disconnected there. I apologize. Niels Ruhr is saying, with all of the goodies offered to new premium members, I feel like I should only buy 1 month premiums. Most of the goodies are offered to annual premium members though, right? I will play James Harden. Oh, this will get me into hot waters, because I just realized he's German, so we're back to the narrative of me only playing Germans. Who would have thought that James Harden 13 is German? This is another one of my pet lines where I play around with delaying d4 so that you can handpick your version of what d4 opening you play. If he goes d5, I will play d4, but against b6 you have other options, this e4 move being one of them. g3, another one that I play plenty. Bishop d3, knight a6, this is all theory. Everybody's so booked up. I used to be booked up. Now, routinely, people out-book up me. Can I play this move? This might be a weird-looking move, but I don't want bishop c2, knight b4. And I want to be ready for knight c5 with, I don't know, e5, d4 or something. Mr. Dodgy is saying, we don't come and ruin the German shows. You did come to the last German show, Mr. Dodgy, and now you're telling me you couldn't attend because you watched a Simon Williams show. It's literally heartbreaking. More heartbreak, Baptist is asking, signed by Peter or just by Jan? I mean, did you have to throw the just in there? But no, don't worry. Use the hashtag Mac. The hashtag is that the voucher code MacPeter, and you can get your Peter Svidler signed Mac. I promise, I won't sign it, and I won't touch it either. Ambitious Porn is saying, you should do all premium C24 candidates tournament. Can you do some commentary? Mr. Doji could be a top seed. Maybe Pramod PTSD could play in it as well. I'd like that. Sounds like a good plan to me. I like my position here after he had to put his knight back to g8. Now it looks like the black lack of development might start telling at some point. Let's see how James Harden 13 will try to solve that. Rook c8. I should do something to get that knight, but I don't know how. What can I do? b4, de, b5. Looks like a stupid move, but such is life. Dover Beach is asking, haven't been on Banter Blitz for a while. Are we still getting TV recommendations? No, even the TV recommendations have disappeared from the program because I don't have any. Have I watched any good TV recently? I did blunder BA6, Bishop F3, so there's that. But let me think. TV. No, I've been to the movies. I watched Red Sparrow. Wasn't that great? It's a weird mix of sort of Syrians, then series or slow paced, then very cartoony violence. I don't know, it confused me. I wasn't really into it. This move doesn't really make a lot of sense. I just felt like I should do it. Queen c3 runs into bishop h2, which is a bit of a problem, but even though queen c3, bishop h2 might end well for me. So probably after queen c3 he should just go knight f6. And then we'll take it from there. I'll pre-move this just to look clever. I'm not sure how it might end well for me. Might just be wishful thinking. Bishop h2, king h2, queen d1. I have queen g7, but there's queen c1 or queen d4. Queen d4, I thought bishop b2. That could be alright. Then queen g7, bishop g7, I win material. But queen c1, queen h8, it's anybody's guess. Who's better? My guess is black is better though. Anybody else might guess something else. Looks like we're talking TV. Ambitious Porn is saying dark is good. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the German Stranger Things, that's what it's called, even though it has slightly different topics. I didn't like it because it wasn't funny enough. I understand, it's not trying to be funny, but I didn't like it. Mr. Dodgy says, I liked Altered Carbon. How dare you spend time on TV, Mr. Dodgy, with your busy candidates, Banter Blitz, other Banter Blitz schedule. I tried watching Altered Carbon, but it looked too rushed, or I don't know. I wasn't really getting into it, and I have to pay attention who's who. It's way too complicated for me. Knight f6 played, probably a good decision. Can I go bishop g5? I feel like going bishop g5. Let's see. Bishop h2, king h2, queen d1. Something good should happen to me. He seems to disagree. Doesn't want anything good to happen to me. Very confusing game, this. Many confusing games. Oh, now queen d4 is winning. James Harden, 13R, switched from playing very strangely to playing very strongly. Sometimes that happens, and yeah, I just keep blundering my way through. This is resigns now. Will I resign though? No. Never ever resign. Even though I'm not sure what I'm hoping for here. Should I keep some dignity for once? It's very hard for me to do anything with dignity, which might be a problem. But no, not gonna be able to push that resign button. Come on, Jan, it's right there. You can do it. No. Checkmate coming. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. Yeah, I don't know what to say. That opening was pretty terrible, but then when I thought there's gonna be a walk in the park, things changed. Yeah, I don't know. Let's play another one. What time is it? Where? I should. This is the last game. Last game for today. And I shall play it against H. Broken. H. Broken. H stands for Hector. Hector. F3, D5. What do I do? D4. Good old Queen's Gambit declined. Bishop F4 line. To end today's show, A6. Why don't people play A6? I guess just CD5. A6, not very common. Knight BD7 or C5 are far more popular moves in that position. A6, maybe C5 is a move you could play there as well. But CD5 looks fairly logical. Because in these Carlsbad structures, even though we've seen Passion play A6 earlier, it's becoming more popular. Still, you could argue that A6 is not particularly needed. This looks nice for me, but not sure what to do next. I guess I'll just castle here. I want to go A4, but then B4, I'm not sure if it's really worth including those things to gain any traction. Alright, let's do it. There you go, C6, not B4. Okay. At some point it should get hard for black to get his pieces out. But it's also a bit unclear what I want to do. So I'll just play it nice and slow. Knight takes maybe? General D3 is always a good square for the knight here. If rook takes, knight FD7, or can I do something there? I don't know, looks tempting too. Let me see. Bishop D6 also legal. Time for some deep maneuvering. I've been astonishingly slow today. Like normally, I might play terribly, but to play terribly slowly every game is quite shocking. Can I take here? Or will you do bad things to me? Should I do that? H broken. Knight C6, Knight C6, Rook C6, Bishop F4. I don't like it that much. I'll go here instead. Whoa, C5. Fueling the flames. Bishop e5, worst case scenario I can take on d8 and then d5. Knight f6, worst case scenario I can take the rook. Best case scenario I can take f7. Both look pretty good. So, okay, I shouldn't think forever. Give me the rook. Good position for me. That's it for today. Thank you guys for participating in the joy of fun and positivity that is Banter Blitz with Jan Gustafsson. See you in the live commentary for the candidates. Starting tomorrow, what time is it? 3 p.m. Central European time. I'm always unsecure about that, but I believe it is 3 p.m. Berlin time, at the very least. I'll be joined by the one and only Peter Svidler, super grandmaster, knowledgeable chess commentator. So you're in for a treat. The candidates has lived up to it. Thanks for sticking with me. See you next time. Oh yeah, go premium if you want to partake in the next show. Thanks for watching. Bye.